Hey, what's up, guys? Um, yeah, I'm back, and I did want to discuss like a few things about 2020 because I feel like this has been a super long year. I mean, it felt like a decade full of events all in one year. I felt like this whole entire year itself was I would say it was pretty challenging. It was challenging in a few ways, trying to get adjusted to some of the things that we've experienced this year. And I mean, there were a load of events that happened, and it's crazy. I did want to talk about it because I do feel like this is a year that we're not going to see in terms of the crazy events we've seen. And I just wanted to share my insights, my thoughts, and any sort of things I wanted to bring up in this conversation. I'm not a verified YouTuber, so this is probably going to be like three parts. So I can only upload up to like 15 minutes per video, which is absolute bullshit in my opinion, but I guess I have to work my way to the top, so I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I did want to talk about it. So yeah, let's begin. I do feel like for a lot of people, I'm not going to speak for everyone. Everyone has had their own experiences with 2020, and I can say for the majority of people that 2020 was disastrous. It was horrible. It was the worst year of their life. And honestly, I can see that. I mean, take a look at what events we've seen. I mean, if you remember all the way to the start, I believe January 3rd, we saw quote unquote the start of World War III. It wasn't really the start, it was just way like blown out of proportion, but while it wasn't the start of World War III, it was the start of, some really crazy events going on. And I mean, it's just horrible like how many bad events there were, and it's crazy how everything happened in one year. I mean, the start of the coronavirus, which happened, I believe, all the way back in late February, but, well, at least in the US, but we didn't really see the actual effects of the coronavirus until March when we saw huge lockdowns, a bunch of fear mongering, and just fear being spread out and a bunch of events being canceled. I mean, it's really crazy how the coronavirus has shaped a lot and how we've lived throughout this year. I mean, take a look at education. I mean, high school, college, heck, even jobs. I wouldn't call it yeah, jobs are kind of education, but I mean, we've transitioned from physically sitting in our classroom, listening to the teacher, to listening through our own computer monitors. I mean, that's how much like, and that's not all of the changes. I mean, we've seen um, a ton of events being canceled. I mean, for instance, I was like really waiting for the 2020 Olympics. Actually, I think the Summer Olympics are really fun to watch, and it just kind of breaks my heart that we weren't able to see that. What else was there? There was March Madness being canceled, the NBA postponing their season. I thought they would cancel for the whole entire season, but they managed, and I think that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, concerts, gatherings, parties, any sort of events, graduations. I mean, almost a lot of important events, heck, even weddings, a ton of events were being canceled, and it breaks my heart for many. It's like I haven't been through any of that, but especially for people graduating this year, I definitely feel for them. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking that you worked and you thought, this year we might do something, and then COVID-19 came and basically everyone's plans got canceled. I'm pretty sure there are people that are on vacation, and if they know the risks, I would say go for it. Otherwise, don't do it. And if you are, I mean, like I said before, just I would say keep calm, especially during these times, and hopefully try to find something that would help you in the long term. And I felt like that was like 2020 for me because we couldn't prove ourselves in front of everybody unless you're talking about um through a screen basically. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of 2020 was about inner strength, and for a lot of people it's mental health issues and dealing with the craziness. I mean, I feel like as the year went on, it just got progressively crazier and crazier. I mean, coronavirus, the wildfires, famine. I don't know if there's a famine going on, but um, lots of people getting evicted from their homes, from their apartments. And we did see a stock market crash. I believe it was like late February. It was crazy. I mean, it was falling 1,000 points, 2,000 points. I think it also hit 3,000 points. I was like, I think we're going into probably something similar to the 2008 economic recession. You could say it is a recession because at one point the unemployment rate was like it was like all the way to 14%, but I think as I'm about to upload this video, I think it's at like 6%, so we definitely improved, I will say that. So that's pretty good on the good side. And if you take a look at the stock market, I'm actually very surprised that the stock market went up like astronomically, especially when uh retail stores like their physical sales. I mean, I'm pretty sure online sales have boomed because why would you shop physically and carry that risk of contracting the coronavirus? But I mean, yeah, just talking about the stock market, I mean, it's crazy how, I think of it went all the way down to 18,000 and then we broke record highs in the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq. I mean, it's just crazy. And I know a lot of stocks. I would say anyone who invested in Amazon, Tesla, you guys made a killing. I will say that. I'm pretty sure you guys made tens of thousands of dollars if you were one of those lucky people, which I congratulate you. I mean, you guys are pretty lucky, and I have to give it to you. Yeah, but we all know the Fed is the reason why the stock market is even going up, but on the flip side, I mean, besides the stock market, I mean, just like the overall job growth, it actually surprised me a lot because I thought we were going to stay here for quite some time. I know there are still millions of people um, who are devastated by, this pandemic, and it's hard to find a job. I mean, it is really difficult. Like trying to find a job, especially when not many companies are hiring, the revenues are down. It's difficult. I understand that. It is difficult, and I would just say, keep on searching, keep looking for jobs, and I would say keep trying until you find one. Not if you've been rejected once or twice, because ultimately we've all been rejected more than once or twice. So, and that's what the reality is. We just have to keep going. We got to keep pushing, and we have to find a destination that we don't know where it'll take us, but we have to find some sort of destination. And that's what I feel like 2020 has been. For a lot of people, it's been mental health, and definitely for me. I mean, it has been really tough just trying to cope with everything that's going on. Um, for a lot of people, it's isolation. Definitely for me, I mean, I've been really depressed, like really depressed a few days. Like sometimes, like during school, when my teacher was talking, I just wouldn't listen because that's how strong my depression was. I just couldn't handle like going through some days and through some really down times when I feel like sometimes I just felt like I needed to take a break instead of just physically forcing myself to listen through the whole entire lecture of, just and just participating. I just felt like some of the most simplest things that it felt like a hassle for me, and that's kind of what it felt like. Um, I also believe that the isolation part was kind of it kind of hurts because I wouldn't say every time, but I would say in school you would meet with your friends, or you might be able to discuss. You have that sort of social interaction you have day to day. And when you're missing out on that, it's basically your family and you, and that's it. I mean, you could go outside and hang out with people, and yeah, it's just you could do that, but at the same time, it's kind of an inconvenience because we all have to gather in one place. At least speaking on my viewpoint, I mean, my standpoint of 2020, I mean, where I'm living, the weather is horrible. I mean, there's no reason or any incentive to go outside, but I would say the summer is by far the best part. Um, so that's what we did. We all wore masks, and we all knew we didn't have the coronavirus, so we just hung in our own social group and just did whatever we could to just talk about the days, talk about I mean, events going on, just talking about what are some of the trends, stuff like that. So that's what we did. Um, yeah, so that's what 2020 has been. It's like I really had a bunch of plans, and a lot of them I just wasn't able to accomplish it today. I mean, this year, and it goes for everyone. I think it almost goes for everyone. It's just been a roller coaster of depression. I'm almost near the 15-minute mark, so I'll create a part two. So I'll see you guys there.